Hello everyone. This is Guna from ManageEngine Analytics Plus. I'm happy to meet you again with an interesting topic: how analytics on change management process can save you millions. A recently published IDC report states that the average hourly cost of an infrastructure failure is estimated to be around $100,000 per hour. Wow, that's unbelievable. And I have an instant to share with you in the later part of the webinar. Well, the most interesting fact is 80% of these failures are not just caused by the hardware itself. Rather, a person not following the process, people, the lack of analytics, and process are the key for impacts on business operations. Before we deep dive, I want to share with you about the recent surveys conducted among the organizations, which indicates that only 10% of the organizations actively adopt analytics for the change management, and remaining 90%, though have insights, are looking for an improvement. All right, let's get started. As you all aware, change is the addition, modification, or removal of any authorized, planned, or supported service or a service component that could affect the IT services. Most often, a change is an event that has been approved by the change authority, is evaluated and implemented, which adds value to the business and its customers. A typical change management process includes the following activities: create and log the request for change, review, evaluate the change, approve or authorize the change, coordinate implementation, review and close change request. Once the change management process is in place, you need to be able to have insight in each step of the process for the following reasons. You will have the security risks minimized. It'll improve the visibility into the IT changes, and it also helps you decrease the adverse impacts on business operations. Now, before we get into the core of the webinar, I want to tell you a bit about Analytics Plus, Manage Engines IT analytics software. This is the application I have used to build the reports that I'm going to show you today. Analytics Plus is a self-service business intelligence solution that tightly integrates with ManageEngine's Service Desk Plus. To set up the integration, you have to go to the admin panel of the Service Desk, click on Advanced Analytics, and choose Set up Advanced Analytics Integration, and follow the on-screen instructions to complete this setup. Once the setup is completed, Analytics Plus offers over 400 plus out-of-the-box reports and dashboards for service desk integrations, and it also helps users to gain better insights into their IT data. Analytics Plus also connects to a variety of data sources, including Excel, CSV files, HTML, API, web links, and local and cloud databases. Now, let's get back to our topic. Early on the session, I hinted at a real life incident that can show you that a well defined change management process can save you millions. Sometime back in September, I came across a news article that prompted me to choose this as a topic for today's webinar. A famous airline faced what could be considered every airline's worst nightmare. About 50,000 customers and 100 flights were grounded. 400 more flights were delayed or rescheduled over a period of several days because the solid state disk server infrastructure hosting the airline's booking system was replaced without following the right change management protocol. This affected the airline's online check in and booking system. Despite a massive effort to restore services immediately, it took 11 hours for the service to be restored and 10 more hours to bring in operations back to normal. And you can imagine how much this could have cost the airline. It cost the airline approximately $10 million in terms of lost business and providing overnight accommodation and food for hundreds of passengers who were stranded. This situation could have been avoided if monitoring was enabled at each stage of the change management process. Dashboards that could give insights into every stage of the change management process and notify stakeholders of incorrect procedures. This could have saved a lot of money for the airline. Now, let's see how analytics can help you save your millions with key insights on your change management process. Analytics Plus offers 30 plus default change management reports and a couple of dashboards for a complete overview. Now, I'm going to lay out some steps you can follow to establish checks at different stages of your change cycle in order to avoid major disruptions. So, the first step, which I'm going to lay out, is to track the changes. A report that talks about the types of changes can give you insights about the severity, especially the details of emergency changes. An emergency change is one that must be assessed and implemented as quick as possible to resolve a major incident. Emergency changes tend to be more disruptive and have a high failure rate, so they should be kept to a minimum. I have a report in Analytics Plus uh, that could talk about the emergency changes here that was raised for a reason. And I can see 17% of these emergency changes are raised for new services, and 17% are raised for antivirus and firewall updates. And I can also see we have close to 17.89% of emergency changes are raised for patch updates. Now, if I want to filter out this report and look at the emergency changes with high risk, I can use the filters available here and I can pick high. Now, this instantly make changes to the report based on the selected value from this filter. All right. So the next step is going to be about how to be watchful about your security risks. In IT, things are constantly in a state of flux. We need to be very watchful of every change, especially the ones concerning the security of the organization. So these changes may not be, implemented as quickly. We need to be careful about the potential risk that it brings in. In larger organization, frequent firewall changes are very common. And network environments have become so complex that a single firewall configuration can take the entire network offline or even expose your business to cyber attacks. Therefore, it is imperative that such changes are carried with utmost caution. As companies grow, their networks grow and become complex. So, frequent changes in the firewall rule set become common. According to me, maintaining a well set of or a clean set of firewall rules is one of the most important functions in the network security. Unwidely rule sets are not just a technical nuisance, they also create business risks such as open ports and unnecessary VPN tunnels, etc. They can create gaps in compliance and make the network susceptible to cyber attacks. Too many firewall rules can complicate the auditing process and increase the change of security risks going undetected. In order to handle this situation, I would suggest you to create a report that gives you visibility into security related changes. If you find change requests such as the one that involve changing firewall rules, you should pay special attention to them at every stage of the change. Now, I have a report that gives me visibility about the firewall related changes and its statuses. Now, I can just click on any of the columns in this report to get a complete view about the request, which will be helpful to me to be watchful about the risks involved. Right. So the third step is to evaluate the change. Evaluating the change to assess the impact, risks, and benefits to IT services is critical in nature. And in order to avoid unnecessary disruption to business operations, a few reports in Analytics Plus can help you evaluate the change better. So the first report is going to be about the open changes by risk. Now, this report helps you understand the open changes by risks and also helps you answer questions like when the highly risky changes are scheduled to be completed, which site has more open changes with high risk, and so on. And this can be easily seen using the drill down option that is available. So I can just click on and choose site. Now this tells me that the site Sao Paulo has more risks involved. So these changes that are raised are with high risks. And I also have another report that can help me understand the distribution of changes by impact level on business. And I can understand from this report that I have 32 point 6% actually impacts the department and 32.9% affects the business, right? And it also tells me how many percent impacts the users as well. So if I want to email this report to the change advisory board, I can click on the email icon and select the file type that I wanted to be sent out. So this report can be sent out as a CSV or as a Excel or as a PDF or as an HTML. Now, if I want this to be sent out as a PDF, I can select PDF and then type in the email address from this little drop down and then just customize my subject and the message to be sent out. And then this report can be instantly sent out to the cab members. However, if you want to schedule this report to be sent out periodically to the individual board members or to a group, you can still schedule this, and then this will help the change advisory board, assess the impact and evaluate and understand the need for the change better. Now, let's talk about the fourth stage which is involved, which is approving or authorizing the change. Depending on the size of the businesses, the estimated risk, and the scope of the change, the CAB member can approve or reject the change. However, it is better to understand the average time taken to approve the change so you can anticipate the average wait time. If the wait time exceeds the average, you can set an alert so that the cab members or an individual member is notified. So I have a report that can talk about the average time it involves for the cab members to authorize the changes. So if I want to set an alert and then say that if you have exceeded the average wait time, I can click on the alarm icon that I see at the top right, and I can choose create alert. And this page will let me set a condition, right? Uh, I can just name this alert and I can um, select the conditions that needs to be matched. So an alert can be triggered through an email or through an in-app notification. Now I'm going to say if the average exit time is greater than 25 minutes, I want this to be emailed to a specific person, or I can also set an in-app notification with some custom subjects and message. Right. So, and also Analytics Plus has released a commenting feature which can help you speed up decisions, which obviously help the cab members can use to hold discussions without having to wait for the next cab meeting. So to use the commenting feature, I can use the comment option that I see at the top right, and I can invite collaborators here. So they would be involved in the discussions without having to wait for the next cab meeting, right? So now this next stage is to coordinate the implementation. Once a change is approved or authorized, the changes will be handed over to the appropriate technicians for implementation. If you are a change manager, you should schedule each change based on the suggested implementation requirements and manage business risks. So it is better to understand the changes that are due to implementation in the next 30 days and share it with everyone in the organization so they are aware of the possible service outages or maintenance activity. Analytics Plus lets you easily publish this report in your online portal for a better visibility. All right. So if I wanted to publish a report, I can click on the little cloud icon that I see here, and I can choose the different options now. So I can use the iframe snippet, which can help me embed the reports and the dashboards onto a website or a blog, or I can generate an URL or a permalink and share it with my colleague. I can also generate a slideshow to display reports and dashboards on a larger TV screen for a live view of important metrics and trends, right? So the next stage is to get an overview of your change life cycle. It is important to get an overview of your change life cycle because effective change management increases the likelihood of success. A dashboard here can be handy to get an overview of the change life cycle at different stages. So Analytics Plus offers a couple of out of the box dashboard that can help you get an overview of your change management process. So now this dashboard gives me visibility about the changes that are in progress, about the emergency changes, and if you scroll down, it also gives me visibility about the in progress changes across sites and it also tells me the average change completion time in days and so on. And we also have another dashboard that talks about the average time involved for the approval, total pending approvals. So this is basically the change approval overview dashboard that gives you visibility into the approval of the approval time trend of the changes, right? So I have described the base steps that any organization should incorporate as a part as their change management process. And here are some benefits that you would gain using Analytics Plus, and it also helps you take better control of your change management cycle. So using Analytics Plus, you can improve your overall service availability. And Analytics Plus also increases the change success rate and reduce the number of disruptions and decrease the average time to implement a change and increases the efficiency of change processes at all stages. With this, we have come to the end of the webinar and I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to download Analytics Plus and enjoy your free 30-day trial, feel free to scan this QR code and download your free 30-day trial and continue using the product. If you are an existing customer and would like to discuss the canned reports or build your own reports, please sign up for a free one-on-one session with our experts by scanning this QR code, and one of our experts will get in touch with you through email. All right, please follow the guidelines, manage the change better, and save millions. If you would like to share your experience on implementing the analytics on the change module, shoot an email to gunasegaran.u@manageengine.com and happy analytics. With this is Guna signing off from today's webinar, and I'm looking forward to meet you again with an interesting topic in the future. Thank you and wish you a good day.